Year 5, it's Mrs. Thomas. I hope you're all doing well. Our topic is now Splash, which means it's time for a new topic book. This term, it's a book titled This Morning I Met a Whale, and it's written by Michael Mapurgo. I'm going to read you the first few pages today, and then you have some tasks to do, which can be found on your learning planner. This morning I met a whale. It was just after 5 o'clock, and I was down by the river. Sometimes, when my alarm clock works, and when I feel like it, I get up early, because I like to go bird watching, because bird watching is my favourite hobby. I usually go just before first light. Mum doesn't mind, just so long as I don't wake her up, just so long as I'm back for breakfast. It's the best time. You get to hear the dawn chorus, you get to see the sunrise and the whole world waking up around you. That's when the birds come flying down to the river to feed, and I can watch them landing in the water. I love that. If you're already there when they come, they hardly notice you, and then you don't bother them. Hardly anyone else is down by the river at 5 o'clock, sometimes no one at all, just the birds and me. The rest of London is asleep, well, mostly anyway. From our flat in Battersea, it takes about 5 minutes to walk down to the river. The first bird I saw this morning was a heron. I love herons because they stand so still in the shallows. They're looking for fish, waiting to strike. When they strike, they do it so fast it's like lightning, and when they catch something, they look so surprised and so pleased with themselves, as if they've never done it before. When they walk in slow motion. When they take off and fly, they look prehistoric, like pterodactyls almost. Herons are my best. But soon enough, they all came, all the other birds. The moorhens and coots, the crested grebes and the swans, the cormorants and the ducks. This morning, I saw an egret too, perched on a buoy out in the river, and you don't see many of those. They're quite like herons, only much smaller, and white, snow white. He was so beautiful, I couldn't take my eyes off him. I was watching him through my binoculars, and he was looking right back at me. It was like he was asking me, "Hey you, what are you doing here? This is my river, don't you know?" Suddenly, without any warning, he lifted off. Then they all lifted off. All the birds on the shore, all the birds in the river. It was really strange. It was just as if I had fired a gun or something, but I hadn't. I looked around. There wasn't a single bird anywhere. They had all disappeared. For a while, the river was completely still and empty and silent, like it was holding its breath almost, waiting for something that was about to happen. I was doing the same. Then I spotted something slicing slowly through the water towards me. It was a fin. "Shark!" I thought. "Shark!" And a warm shiver of fear crept up my back. Then I saw the head and knew at once it couldn't be a shark. It was more like a dolphin, but it wasn't. It wasn't quite the right shape. It was too big and too long to be a dolphin. It was big enough to be a whale, a real whale. Now I knew what it was. With a face like that, I knew at once that it had to be a bottle-nosed whale. It's the only whale that's got a face like a dolphin. I know quite a lot about whales because my uncle sent me a whale poster he'd got out of a newspaper, and I've had it pinned up in my bedroom over my bed ever since. So that's why I can recognise just about all the whales in the world. Narwhals, belugas, sperm whales, pilot whales, minkies, bottlenose whales, the lot. To begin with, I just stood there and stared. I thought I was still dreaming. I couldn't take it in. I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, a whale in the Thames, a whale in Battersea. He was close to the shore now, in shallower water, and still coming towards me. I could see almost all of him, from his head to his tail, but after a bit I could see he wasn't really swimming anymore. He was just lying there in the shallows, puffing and blowing a bit from time to time. He must be resting, I thought, tired out after a long journey perhaps. And then I noticed he was watching me as hard as I was watching him, almost like he was trying to stare me out. Except I could tell from the gentleness in his eye that he wasn't being unfriendly towards me. He was interested in me, that's all. As interested as I was in him. That's when I knew, don't ask me how, I just knew, that he wanted me to come closer to him. Okay, and I'm going to leave it there for today, Year 5, so good luck with your home learning, and I'll be back again next week with the next few pages of the book.